Want to win money on sports? With Underdog, you can win up to 1,000 times your cash just by picking higher or lower on your favorite players' stats. Millions of fans have won billions of dollars on Underdog. Will you be next? Download the Underdog app and sign up to get a free pick with your first cash entry up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP, 1-800-639-8783, or text NEXT STEP to 53342. New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369.
Hashtag no music, no intro, Saints Block Party podcast, recap pod. My, how things have changed in the last 2 weeks. The Darren Rizzi experience is on full force. The Saints beat the Browns 35-14 in the Jameis Winston quote-unquote homecoming game. The Saints are now 2-0 in the Darren Rizzi era. Tony in the chat, much love, said, almost like coaching matters or something, right? Who would have thought? Who amongst us would have thought? And 1 second, put this to... Okay, so it's on Twitter. We're good to go. All we've been asking for a while now, can you just give us some fun football. Give us some fun football.
Sit, bro.
And say whatever you want to say. There's a lot of things about this team, especially defensively, that still needs to be cleaned up. And maybe some of that is just like they just aren't that talented defensively.
Right.
But in 2 weeks, we are seeing a fun football team, much like we saw the first 2 weeks of the season. There are just so many things that the effort is there. They missed a lot of tackles today and things like that. But it's a fun football team. Is this a talented football team? Can this team go on a run and whatever? Probably not. I will say Sean Payton putting it deep in the Falcons today. So the NFC is going to be wide open. It's going to be wide open. You already know what that means. Go ahead, buddy. Go ahead, buddy. You know what that means. Oh, we were right there. We were competing for the division. Can already hear the pressers. But it's just fun being in the Zooms, seeing big plays, seeing the team have fun. And these should be building blocks of things to build on for this season and in the future.
Right. No question, man. Like, it's fascinating just how some good coaching, and look, it's so hard for us as fans to try to quantify what good coaching is.
Yes.
But like, to me, like, you could just see it. You could read the reports of what the different things they're doing in practice, the different attention to details they're doing. Just watch the game. You could see the difference. You could just see the difference in the effort. Look, it's not perfect. Players still going to do things, make boneheaded plays, make mistakes. But you just feel like it's a professional operation
that
you're watching. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy to me. That's just crazy that we seeing that. And look, we'll see how this goes, bro. Like
all right,
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I like there, and I had heard this even before the 2-game win streak, that Rizzi was going to be given a legitimate opportunity to potentially become the actual permanent full-time head coach. And I'm not, I'll say this, I'm not even against Rizzi becoming the full-time head coach. All I'm asking for, we're asking for is making an actual head coaching search. Make an actual head coaching search. And this is not to compare Rizzi to Antonio Pierce, who didn't have any much coaching experience at all. And Rizzi's been a special teams coach for 15 years. You don't want to make that mistake where you're riding that high from the interim head coach bump, and then you're like, oh, let's just make this guy our head coach, and then it could just not work out. And I'm not saying that's what Rizzi's experience is going to be, but you have to be honest with yourself. You have to have candidates come in and interview and be open to whoever you bring into interview. Don't be close-minded. And I know I'm getting on like a team building, like front office tangent. I'm not trying to take away from the good vibes of the win. Like, it was a great win. We're going to go into that, but I'm just looking down the line of the future of this team, and if they want to be successful, how things need to be done to set them up for success. We've seen it in this game. It feels like, and I know DA did this with Pete Carmichael, so we maybe did the same thing with Clint Kubiak, but it really feels like DA really had his hands in the soup and in the ingredients in the offense when he was head coach and Clint was OC. It feels that way because this offense was completely different.
Wasn't it, bro? Like, I know we ain't chirping. Like, we all could see the difference. Just more expansive, more. It just was more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was more. Is what we've been, like, begging from Clint Kubiak the past 2-3 months. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like, show us something. Show us something.
Please.
Show us that you alive, that you in the booth cooking. Like, show us something. Even if it doesn't work, man, at least you trying something. You know what I'm saying? And that's what they showed today. Like, they showed, even last week, that they were in the lab, they were cooking it up. And look, that's a part of being a good head coach, is empowering your other coaches, developing your other coaches, going to them on a Tuesday, saying, look, this defense does this, and this. Let's find some ways to attack this coverage. Let's find some way to attack this pressure. They like to run these blitzes. Let's come up with some ideas that we can attack this with. That's all you're doing, and you empower your offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator to come up with ideas and implement them. You know what I'm saying? And then you practice them out through the week, and then you see how they work. Oh, this looks good. Well, this doesn't look good. Well, let's do this. Let's tweak this. And that's how it's supposed to go. But apparently that's not what's been happening.
Oh, no.
Past couple of years, Adam. I don't know.
Oh, no. Tony said, is it just me or did it kind of revert back to what it was during the losing streak a bit once McCoy went out? It did a little bit. It felt like the team got shell-shocked. Excuse me. He got shell-shocked a little bit. And then, to their credit, the game was getting a little dicey when Eric McCoy went out and the offense became a little stagnant. And it felt like at some point, and I don't know if this was a Clint thing. I don't know if Rizzi went to Clint and said, yo, you gotta keep running your stuff. Like, whatever you want to run it, because I tweeted and I said in our Zoom, in the second half, it really felt like Kevin Stefanski, Jim Schwartz pretty much was like, we are not letting the Saints run on us. We're going to get the ball. We're going to shut down the run game with AK, blah, 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 blah. We're going to let Derek Carr try to throw it. And for a while, that was working for them. And then it felt like the offense opened up a little more. It wasn't as constricting. And you had huge plays. And I just want to get some love. Dante said they ran so many more screen plays and run concepts.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Like, they ran more screens in, like, the first half than I've seen in a while. I was like, what the hell are these screens coming from? Long time. But it was great calls versus, aggressive defense. So it was just smart. I was just like, wow, like what is this?
Man, there is no player in the NFL like Taysom Hill.
No, bro. Nothing like him, bro.
I will stand on a heel on business and say he's one of the best players in the league.
No question. No question. Like, what was that next gen thing they put out? Let's see. Taysom Hill snaps by alignment today. 10 snaps in the slot, 8 at quarterback, 6 in the backfield, 4 out wide, and 4 at tight end. First player in the next gen stats era since 2016 with 4+ snaps in all 5 positions. Like, and it's not that he just like moves to those positions, but he's productive in all those positions. Like, he's blocking as tight end, he's blocking downfield as a wide receiver, catching downfield, running the ball physically. Like, and look, he had his mistakes today. He threw an ugly interception, weird play call. Like,
dumb.
Like we don't need to. The one thing that we talked about on Zoom, the one thing that Derek Carr does do well, he throws like a nice deep ball. You know, and we don't need Taysom Hill to do that. Like, it makes sense with Drew Brees sometimes because Drew Brees on was shot.
Right.
But we'll need that. We'll need that. But and he fumbled going into the end zone, and still, like he made you forget about all that. Like by the end of the game, you forgot about all that stuff. You're just like, man, let's keep going, bro.
Dante asked, "Is he getting in the Hall of Fame?"
No.
There's no chance.
Absolutely
The football cognoscente still can't stand him. It's weird. Mm-mm. It's weird.
I know they was chirping as soon as he threw that interception. I didn't look, but I already know.
Yeah, but to the point of what the chat is saying, like he's definitely getting into the Saints Hall of Fame. That is.
Well, he better, bro.
Ryan Berger on Blue Sky said, like, you know, he quote tweeted my take of him being one of the best players in football, and he said he's been keeping like track of where Taysom Hill ranks in his touchdowns. He has more touchdowns than Leonard Fournette and Chris Godwin, not put together, but just as like that's crazy.
That's crazy. Unbelievable.
I want to give a big shout out, and I think you could go back and make the debate of who the Saints potentially should have picked. Fuaga had Myles Garrett locked up today, Ryan. Locked up.
It's amazing, man. Amazing, bro. A rookie. Man, Myles Garrett, like, he's been coming on the last couple of weeks. I figured he would have a field day. Not a field day, but, you know, like, Fuaga's good, but he's been having his
up and down.
You know, up and down inconsistencies like we would expect. But for him to do that like he did today, man, well, I just kind of forgot about Myles Garrett. I just kind of
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. That, you know, look, man, like we'll see, but it looks like Fuaga's going to end up being a really good pick, and they need it. Honestly, they need it.
And I felt like Kool-Aid had a pretty decent game out there today too.
Yep, sure did.
Can we just?
Wait, go ahead.
Because I know we got to get to Alante. Can we just let Jeff Ireland whatever Jeff want to do in the draft room? Let Jeff do it. Let Jeff do it. I don't need Mickey anywhere near the draft room if he's still the GM. I don't need it, Ryan. I don't need that.
Jeff Ireland is a scout through and through, like to his core. He is a scout, man. He loves watching the college tape. He loves going to the college games. He loves that process. That's him.
He's like the professional version of us.
Exactly.
Earlier us, not we can't watch as many prospects that we used to, but early us.
Draftbreakdown.com days.
Man, those
bro. What's the 300 player look like? The 300 ranked player.
I was looking at before the game. I was planning the Senior Bowl trip because I'm 99% sure we'll get approved and credentialed to go. Of just how like what it's going to be for like me having like flight, room, a rental car for the time I'm there, all that. Where it's almost like $650. You know what? But that experience for the pod and in such an important draft for the Saints, I'm like, oh well, we gonna have to go. We gonna do what we do.
Speaking of, we picking what 10th right now.
Do the Cowboys play? Do they play on Monday?
I don't know.
Because I think I was just asking because I'm pretty sure they do play. Because if they do, then that 10th, because whoever they play against, they play the Texans tomorrow. Okay, so the Cowboys will be losing tomorrow. That 10 is going to go even lower.
So we'll be picking.
I don't know how low, but like the Cowboys are. I think they're 11th right now. If I was looking at draft, and they're going to lose. So I would imagine when they lose, then we would go. Yeah, they're picking 9th, so they're going to go higher. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Right now we're picking 10th. I think that's a good place. We'll see how the season goes.
I will see how the season goes, but that feels about right. Like
it does.
10th. Like we'll probably just end up being there, maybe with like 6 or 7 wins, something like that, and we'll just be sitting there at the 10th, like, okay, I take a number 10. I take it, but that top 4 pick was looking good though, boy. I was like,
We're
looking good.
The Jets are picking 7th. How? There's a lot of bad teams in the NFL. Right?
A lot of bad teams, bro. There's a lot of bad football going on. A lot of bad football, bro. That's why I just don't know how it's gonna work out.
No clue. You want to flip over and talk about, speaking of the draft room, talking about Alante. We gotta have I think he should be benched. I think you roll out with Kool-Aid, or if you're not gonna bench him, have Kool-Aid and Charles on the outside, maybe move him back to the slot, something. Because these are 2 games back to back, today and last week against the Falcons, that the offensive game plan for the quarterback in passing the ball usually was, well, who is number 1 covering? I'm attacking him. You can't live like that, bro. Can't live like that in the NFL.
No, man. And it's disappointing because as a slot, he was looking like, Pro Bowl slot, bro. Like he was playing extremely well as a slot player. And look, we was hoping that, his move to the outside, he'd embrace that. And it's not that he didn't embrace it. He's playing hard and everything, but it's just the attention to detail is not there, man. Like you got to play the outside corner much more, how can I put it? It's less of an instinct position, but more of like a study. Like you have to know your opponent. You have to know, where the sideline is. You have to be you got to be real crafty about how you attack, the wide receiver and the ball. It's just a different type of game. He ain't there yet. He ain't there yet, man. He ain't there yet. And he has the physical ability. It's not that he doesn't physically able to do it. He could cover it, but he just has to bring the whole package together to do it. And do you want to test that out in these last couple of weeks? Or like if you're Darren Rizzi, you trying to get all the wins you can. It's like, man, do I move this dude back to the slot where he was actually an asset to the defense? Right. Like in the slot, he was an asset there. Do I do him there or keep him outside where he's actually a liability? When you got somebody like Charles who showed some decent playing on the outside. Who else played on the outside? Rico Payton.
No, Rico was active. He was active today.
He's active. Okay. Yeah. So it's like we'll see what Rizzi plans to do. But yeah, man, I definitely be thinking that right now. Just seeing how 2 weeks in a row. Last week it was like, okay, give him a little, let's just see how he handles it. But 2 weeks in a row where Jameis Winston dicey up, bro.
And Jameis, he threw for almost 400 yards, if not 400 yards.
395, man.
395. QE said Saints finally won with Drew in the building because they got that trash DA out the building. Legacy and trash don't mix. Don't mix, bro. Don't mix.
Big fact. Drew looking like, wow, wait, like it's the first time I've seen that in years. I haven't seen that in a long time.
And not all, but a lot of the former Saints players who were there for halftime. Jari Evans, all-time great, should be in the Hall of Fame at some point.
Carl Diggs, John Stitchcomb, Bushrod, all of them. Yep.
Beautiful. It was beautiful to see. It's good to have this feeling. I want to give some love, give a little love to Derek Carr too. There has not been a podcast who has been harder on Derek Carr. There hasn't. You will not find one.
You will not find one. Bro.
But he's put together 2 weeks back to back of playing decent to good football and not.
Hey, boy. This is Derek Carr time right here, boy. That last tail of the season. Derek Carr season, boy. Hold on to the job. Putting his clean game. No interceptions the past 2 weeks. But he was 21 of 27, 240 yards, just 2 touchdowns, just clean. Just a nice, clean game that your decision maker's going to look at it like, hey, you can win with that. You can win with that.
It's a hard way to live consistently, bro. It's a hard way to live.
Very hard,
No,
bro. Very
no
hard.
no one understands that unless you are in it. Like unless you
Right.
experience it, you're in it. But I'm trying to give him his props because I do feel because he deserves them. He's made some good throws. He still makes those
Yeah.
Derek Carr throws where you just
Like,
like, what are you doing?
what were you doing right there?
What are you doing?
But then he made something that's like, wow, that was a nice throw. Like that was a nice. He had a nice one to Jawan Johnson. He had one nice one to Foster Moreau. You had that dart to MVS where he took off and ran for a long touchdown. Like MVS, bro, where you been all my life, man? Like,
Now, I'm not watching the game, but I'm sure the Bills could have used him. Like, hello, them niggas had to trade for Amari Cooper, and he had MVS in the house the whole time. Like,
I mean, a lot of teams could have used this. It's like, what the hell? Like, what? I just one of the parts of this football I don't get. Like, players could just disappear and come somewhere and just be like, I don't know.
Eureka. Let's see. Wayne said, well, niggas already talking about the Rams game. Rams got a nice defensive line and pass rush, and that was Wayne. And then Rika said, Rams game going to be a tough matchup for us. Yes,
it is. Absolutely. But look, honestly, I thought the Browns defense would be a tougher matchup as far as like our offense facing them, and I was kind of shocked the way the offense handled them, man. Like offensive line handled them. Look, like they were fully healthy. We'll see about McCoy going.
Yep.
Yeah, but still outside of even with that, man, like they handled the Browns defensive line really well. You know, Ward is a dog, so he's gonna get hits in there. But other than that, I thought they played well. So look, I mean, I'm not we'll get to the Rams, later this week. I'm not predicting a win.
In 2 weeks, Ryan. We get
2 weeks. We get a bye week. Oh, thank God. Thank you, Jesus. We get a bye week, baby.
Arika, do y'all think Olave coming back this season? Absolutely not.
Nah,
there's no need.
There's no need. No need at all.
Listen, I would already be trying to convince, and maybe MVS would see it like this. He's like, shit, I was like a fledgling wide receiver. I couldn't stay on anywhere. He might see like New Orleans, like shit. I might as well just stay here.
Bro, like the skill set he brings is like a nice skill set, bro. He's a bigger wide receiver. He's fast. He's older, but he still got nice speed to him. He got some wiggle to him. Like shit, like I'll take that over Cedric Wilson or
Mason Tipton.
Mason Tipton, I'll take that. Give me that. So yeah, if they want to throw him a little 1 year contract or something for another year, shit.
Just a little bit. A
little something.
Before I forget, let's get to our sponsor. We're kind of midway through the show. To get to our sponsor, we'll come back, talk about hit more on the defense and things like that, because there's a lot to talk about. Defensively, but which is crazy because they still held them to 14 points, but the Browns also missed 3 field goals. It's the Darren Rizzi voodoo curse when it comes to kickers kicking. I don't know, but we'll be back after our break. Let's shoot it over to our friends at Underdog Fantasy.
Underdog is the best place to cash in on all your takes this football season. Which players are going off? Which ones are cold? Make your entries in just a few taps and turn your sport opinions into real money. Wide receiver hurt? Every dog deserves a second chance. And with Underdog Rescues, you can get your money back and receive a promo if any early injury causes your entry to lose.
I love Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is the best place to play champions. So sign up and deposit now using promo code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Download the app today and use the code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Again, download the app today and use the code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Will Derek Carr throw for over 75 yards, higher or lower? You decide using Underdog Fantasy.
Download the app today and use code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's code BLOCKPARTY to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Higher or lower, you make the call on Underdog. Must be 18 years or older, 19 or older in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text Next Step to 53342. In New York, call 24/7-HOPE-LINE at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them, the right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
We are back. So being that we are on a bye next week, I think that'd be the perfect time to do like a mid-season or midway through the season SVP top 10, just a little mock draft because people are already fiending for mock drafts already. I'll say this is probably the most I've been excited draft wise for the Saints in a while. Now, some of that started because they were looking like they were picking top 5. But I do think this draft, at least the top 15 talent, top 18 talent in the draft, is very fascinating. So I've definitely been plugged in more to the draft than I usually am. But let's switch it over to the defense. We hit on Alante and how he was kind of just struggled. He had a terrible game. He just had a terrible game. I felt like Amadi, who had a really good game last season, had a very his not a great game today at all. Missed a lot of tackles, but I will give them credit in that the pass rush started to pick up some more. We saw it didn't feel like it did against the Falcons at all, but it definitely felt like it did more in this game. Someone put in the chat, I forgot who it was, Brian Bresee has 5.5 sacks this season as a defensive tackle, and people don't say he's underwhelmed, and to a degree he has in the run game, yeah, but 5.5 sacks from a defensive tackle is impressive, bro.
It is, man. It is impressive, man. It's something he could definitely build upon. He just has to put together an entire game, and it's there. I have faith that he will develop it. You know what I'm saying? He just have to develop it. But yeah, man, I thought the pass rush did better. You saw Cam Jordan. I don't know how many snaps he had, but he played obviously a lot more than he's played, prior to last week.
He played a good game, man.
He played a good game. You saw the strength and power he plays with. He was deflecting passes. He was looking like old Cam Jordan. You know what I'm saying?
He was.
Look, he's old. He's not the player he used to be. He's not going to be racking up sacks like he used to be or nothing like that. But he was an impact player today, and that was just good to see. And we talked about it, during the Zoom, how, being the type of player that he is, him getting more snaps allows him to, come up with plans against his opponents. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not a player that's just going to win with speed and all this like back in the day. He's got to set up his guy. He's got to see what his guy is doing. Okay, this the inside move working. Do the outside and work. I'm going to do this, do the bull rush, this, whatever. So it's working out for him, man. I think it's helping the defensive line as a whole. We was looking for Chase Young to make an impact. He started coming on towards the end. Big Creep, he had a good game. I thought that Mario had a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Just overall, look, I think the defense just kind of is what it is right now. You know what I'm saying?
It is.
Marshawn is gone. They're going to get – look, I mean, Jameis threw the ball 46 times, which to me is just a bad plan in general, against our run defense. I think Chubb was averaging 4.5 yards a carry. It's what did we Why are you throwing this much?
It felt like when we went up 14, that got Cleveland. Like they panicked and they came off their game script a little bit, and they didn't need to. And then the game got tied, and then it just felt like in the second half I did feel like they tried to go back to running and it was working, but we kept scoring and it got them off their game script and there you go.
And on credit to the Saints defense, like they didn't let the run game go crazy like they have in the past couple of weeks. Like they made like clutch stops on third down and stuff like that to keep them, fourth down and stuff like that to keep them within, which were huge. Then we got, we just got some extra sauce from like punt return from Pettis.
Dante Pettis in that bitch.
Dante Pettis, man, exciting punt return. Thought he took it all away, but he stepped out of bounds. But that kind of worked out to our favor because we were able to possess the ball a little longer after that, and then score a touchdown. So it was an interesting, just an interesting, like you said in the Zoom, bro. Just all three phases, all three phases. Everybody contributing, offense, defense, and special teams. Beautiful thing.
Isaiah, I don't know if I would say Isaiah Foskey contributed, but like most
do shit, bro. They ain't do shit. Cleanest jersey in the stadium, bro.
What an all-time awful pick! Like, oh my god, that's such a terrible pick. Like, as much as we rag on Peyton Turner, like at least Peyton Turner will give you a little something, like just a little, like a little. But just don't do nothing, Ryan. Don't do nothing. So we have we have 53 concurrent viewers in here right now. What do you want to see from this team the rest of the season?
Well, look, man, just keep it fun. Look, this is Rizzi's show. The thing with Rizzi is like, even if he stacks up wins, it won't answer the question that I have about him. You know what I'm saying? The question I have is like, what's your vision? Like, what's your big global 10,000-foot vision on football, on running a franchise, on how to fix a team, on how to build a contender? What is your vision for that? Do you have the vision for that? Not only have the vision, but implement it. Like, is it bigger than just, I want, good defense and play physical and in a big play offense? Like, yes, that's what every team wants that. We know that. But like, what's the specific things that you want to see and the specific ways you want to build that? What are the characters or the type of players you want? What are the athletic profiles of the players you want? How do you build this thing? What are the priorities you want to build? Is it defensive line? Is it offensive line? Is it the trenches? Is it the middle of the defense? Do you want big wideouts? Like, what do you want for this team if you're going to be the head coach? And look, we can't make that decision. We're not going to be in the interview room.
Nigga, I need you in the interview room. I need Gail to listen to that and put you in the interview room, bro.
Put you in there, bro. Just let me ask these questions because I just want to know. But unfortunately, it's probably going to be Loomis. It just stinks up the whole process because Rizzi might be the right hire in the end of the day, but just the fact that Loomis made the decision, it's like I don't trust it. I
already don't trust it, bro. Like, it's to the point. I like Aaron Glenn. I think he could be a program builder, but the fact that I'm just jaded because Loomis is already locked in on him, and the season's not even over yet. Like, he's locked in on him from the interview Aaron Glenn did 2+ years ago, and you could argue that the Aaron Glenn 2+ years ago has actually improved and gotten better as a coach than he was. Absolutely. However, can you just interview him again? Can you interview other people? Can you interview? Just keep it open. Just keep it open.
Keep it open.
Bashan said Loomis is going to re-interview DA.
I promise you 100%. I promise you 100%. Loomis like, see, we should have just kept DA. This is, all we needed was a little health. All we needed was a little health, and we would have got the train back rolling. I know it, bro. I know it. I know that's how you feels right now.
And he completely ignoring everything that Rizzi has done differently since DA's left.
Completely, bro.
I'm not. You know what? Look. I don't want to take the shine off this win, because if you start thinking about it long term, I get annoyed all over again. And I'm not going to. I'm not going to do that. We beat the Browns 35-14, bro. And Taysom Hill went off. I'm not letting anything ruin that. You shouldn't, as a fan, either. Enjoy this win. Enjoy these wins. If you are not, if you're not in the Zooms with us on game day, get in those Zooms. Become a Patreon, patreon.com/Saints Block Party, or become a YouTube member. $4.99 a month. Patreon can be as low as $1 a month. And if you are listening to this, please, as the ad said, go and sign up for Underdog Fantasy using the promo code Block Party. Even if you are not a sports bettor, it drastically, tremendously helps out the podcast and helps out SBP.
Yes.
Please. So we don't have much more that needs to be said. The Saints won. It was close. It got a little tight.
And
dicey. And then they ended up winning by what, 3 touchdowns against the Browns. Can't ask for more. Can't ask for more on a Sunday.
Can't ask for more, man. Got some Taysom Hill love. That 4th and 1 where you got like the direct snap and then just took it the distance, like, can't, because I was like, ooh, I don't like this play. I like this play. I like this.
So enjoy the week. We will be back. Michael Morgan said Olave out for the season. Well, he's not out. He's on IR. So technically he's out for 4 games, but he really has no reason that he needs to come back.
No.
Him and his family may have made the decision, as long as Derek Carr is the quarterback, I won't play. And I would understand it. I would understand it, bro.
Catching no balls from this nigga.
No.
Throw it.
No. Put it in my contract. Asking his agent to amend his contract. But we'll be back this week. I want to do a mock draft. I don't know if we're going to do like a top 10 like community mock draft, or we're just going to, I think we'll probably just do the draft simulator because it's early. So we'll just do the draft simulator, do a couple of rounds, not like actual rounds, but a couple of rounds to see who might be there wherever the Saints are picking. But enjoy the week. Enjoy this bye week. The week after, big game, Saints and Rams. Hopefully we can get the great Jordan Rodrigue on to do the Rams preview with us. It's like the week of Thanksgiving, but hopefully we can work that out. And that's Kendrick coming back. In theory, like, he should be back that game. That's just a little more. This team might go on a little run, man. This team might go on a little run, bro. They might.
Oh boy,
that Rams game going tell us everything, though. That Rams game gonna say everything.
We back here again, huh?
Just cut up last season and cut up right now, bro. Just same goddamn team around the same time of the year, bro. But we'll be back next week to do the mock draft, and we'll be back the following week for the Rams. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. We appreciate the support tremendously from the bottom of my heart. Appreciate y'all watching, listening to us, and everything y'all do, because we do this for y'all. So we'll be back next week. With that, we're out.
Peace.
This is the story of the one who, as a maintenance specialist for a historic high-rise, knows that vintage charm historically needs constant attention. Which is why, when it's time to upgrade turn-of-the-century mechanicals, they turn to Grainger. With easy access to 1 million-plus products and the scale to deliver when and where you need them. The right tools and supplies are never far away. So the one can keep that vintage building running like new. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.